Okay, before we get started, a couple disclaimers. I wanted you guys to have some nice nails to look at, so I put on the Olive and June press-on nails in the color GH in the style extra short. I think it's called the Instant Mani. Looks like this, extra short, GH, but as you can see, these are they're quite long on me. So if you have really tiny nail beds, heads up on that. Also, it was my first time doing it, so you can see I got glue everywhere. I tried to remove the glue with a cotton pad, and then the fuzzies got everywhere. So I wanted you to have some nice nails to look at, and it's a little bit jacked up, but hopefully that's okay. Disclaimer number 2, this is a lot of makeup that I brought with me for a month, but keep in mind I had to pack for a hot weather climate and a cold weather climate, and I had to pack for 5 weeks of products that I would use as an influencer, basically, so I can keep posting content on YouTube and Instagram, and that includes sponsored videos and ads, as well as all the products that I want to shoot and review. So just keep in mind the amount of makeup that I personally pack is much more excessive compared to the average consumer. And with that, let's jump into the highlighters. If I weren't an influencer, this is the only highlight that I would bring, and it's really the only highlight that I really truly need in my collection. It's my favorite highlighter, and it's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is the mini size in the shade 3. It looks quite dark on my hand, but once it's on my face, it is perfectly seamless. And my hands are also a lot lighter than my face. So keep that in mind as I'm swatching. My face is definitely darker, but hopefully you can see you're just left with an airbrushed finish that really blurs the skin. It adds luminosity without looking like an over-the-top highlighter. It just looks like beautiful, expensive skin. And my favorite thing about this is that it starts as a liquid, so it's super blendable, but it sets down so you don't have any type of like tacky or cream finish. When I want something different, I go for the Phytosurgeons Spectral Shine Balm in Divine Daylight. Now the packaging on this is a little messed up. There's like glue coming out of the sides, but I don't really mind. It's really similar to the color and finish of the Hollywood Flawless Filter. And you can see you're just left with that beautiful airbrushed finish on your skin that doesn't really look like makeup. It doesn't look like shimmer or highlighter. I've seen on the Phytosurgeons Instagram that they are upgrading their packaging for this soon, so hopefully the mirror won't fall out and you won't have this glue that sometimes comes through the sides, but I don't care because this product is just so good. I brought along this Beauty Pie Triple Beauty Luminizing Wand because I had a sponsored video to film for them. This is stunning. It's just a very, very intense highlighter. And when I blend it in onto the skin, it just looks like metallic without looking like shimmer or anything like that. It is definitely the kind of highlight I reach for when I want more intensity. Then the In Beauty Face Glaze, I honestly use less as a highlighter and more as a primer. It's really kind of like a highlighter mixed with a super rich cream with a lot of beautiful skin-loving ingredients. It's got hyaluronic acid, it has squalane, it has Kakadu plum, which is rich in vitamin C. It has a bunch of other things. It just feels so nourishing on the skin. So these are the 4 different finishes. Phytosurgeons right here, it really doesn't swatch well on the hand, but on the face, it builds up to, I would say exactly the same finish as the Charlotte Tilbury. So it just depends on what formula I feel like using at the time. Then the Beauty Pie Luminizing Wand in Champagne is when I want something absolutely beaming. And then the In Beauty Face Glaze, I'll go for, you can see on my finger, like once you blend it in, it just doesn't even end up looking much like a highlighter. It's more so just like incredibly beautiful, well-kept skin. I brought 2 liquid blushes with me. This is my cold weather liquid blush. This is my warm weather liquid blush. The Say Dewy Blush in Dreamy is one of my new favorite blushes because it's this berry, but it's also got a lot of pink in it. So it's not just like a purple berry. You would never apply that much blush on your skin. So when you sheer it out, you're really left with just a beautiful, cool toned combo of a berry and a pink. It just ends up looking so fresh. And I love using it on days when I'm wearing less makeup because it is quite a dewy finish, but I don't find that it's a dewy finish that emphasizes texture. It's so blendable. A little goes a long way. I like to put some on the back of my hand with a brush, blend it on my cheeks, This is perfect for when I'm going to be in Berkeley and the weather's cold. A new one in my collection is the Tarte Maneater Blush and Glow Cheek Plump in Buff. And it is like, it kind of looks like the Fenty Universal Gloss Bomb to me. Or it looks kind of like a deeper shade of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. The Tarte Maneater Cheek Plump is super sheer, and sometimes I have to build this up in layers, but I like that because it's so natural. I can put this on and it is never gonna look overdone. It's never gonna look patchy. It just looks like amplified skin. It's got quite a bit of sheen to it, so I can skip highlighter. Let me see if the lighting's better when I turn the second light off. So I think you can kind of more clearly see the cool toned flush of Dreamy, and you can kind of just see that texture and sheerness of the Tarte blush better. So maybe I'll stick with this lighting and make it more simple. In terms of the finish of these products, in Berkeley, my skin is so parched constantly. So I like that the Say is dewy. My skin needs all the help it can get here. When I'm in Florida though, this Tarte blush sets down. So while the Say one still feels dewy, you can see that I can like manipulate it. The Tarte one sets down. This is already set. So when I'm in Florida and it's super, super humid and hot right now, I can put this on, blend it out, and it doesn't move around. I brought 2 cream blushes, and the first is a relatively new one. This is a new favorite I'm obsessed with, and it's the Victoria Beckham Cream Blush in Miniskirt. This just goes with everything. It's described as a berry rose, but I think that's ridiculous. This doesn't look like any berries I've ever seen. It's really like a tan mixed with a little bit of a rose. The finish is a cream that's not too dewy. It's not matte. It just kind of sets down to a perfect satin finish. I'll try to blend everything out so you can see what they actually look like on the skin, not just swatched in practice. It's obviously like not as deep when you apply it on the skin. You know, it really blends out to a beautiful, just natural skin color, and this formula is lovely. I prefer to take a brush and stipple it over and then put it on my face instead of using the stick, but it is a very creamy formula and I love it. This works in all climates for me. I also brought the Beauty Pie Super Cheek in Sexy Berry because this color is unique to my collection. You'll see that it's similar to the Victoria Beckham, but really there's more red, more berry in Sexy Berry. And I just really like this. It just looks like such a beautiful cold weather flush without being like a bright red or like a bright purple. It just kind of mimics that perfect balance of a brown, a rose, and a pink that naturally occurs in my skin. And so this color is just beautiful. And this one is very emollient, but it does set down to a matte finish. And so I think you can see here in comparison, the Victoria Beckham is so much more brown than Sexy Berry. This is with my second light back on, just so you can see the differences in the colors in different lighting. This is my favorite category for blush. These are cream powder hybrids. My favorite probably being the MAC Glow Play in Blush Please. And it's bouncy. A lot of people treat this as a cream, but I treat it more like a powder. So I go in with a brush and then buff it on my cheeks, and it is the fastest blush application ever. I find if you use your fingers with this, it just, because it's kind of a powder, it takes a while to blend. So just treat this like a powder and just use a brush, and then you get this beautiful airbrushed finish. I mean, look at that. There's a little sheen to it. Oh, Blush Please is just my favorite. It goes with everything. I keep this blush on me at all times. For Florida, I also wanted the color Heat Index because this, with just like a juicy sheer red lip, a bold brow, and some mascara, is so nice. It just ends up being the most gorgeous kind of pinky coral. And like all the Glow Play blushes, there's a little bit of a sheen running through it. So it doesn't even look like you need a highlighter. You just are left with that airbrushed, beautiful looking skin. It's definitely one of my all-time favorite formulas. I just love it. Also obsessed with the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur in Blurred Buff. This is also a cream powder formula. It feels exactly the same as the Glow Plays. This is just much more yellow, more bronzy. So when I don't even want to look like I'm really wearing blush, I could pretty much use this as a bronzer too. And this is what I go for. As you can see, it's way more yellow and bronzy than Blush Please. Blush Please has a touch of pink and a touch of mauve, but Blurred Buff really is like an amped up bronze. But honestly, same formula, same finish, just that airbrushed kind of bouncy cream powder with a little bit of sheen running through it. I've had this little point perk for ages. It's the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur in Mauve Sunrise. Again, same awesome formula. This one's a little bit more pink than the others. It really translates to just a beautiful, warm pink on the skin. So these are like my favorite types of formulas, obviously, and they just look so beautiful. This one is maybe less mauve, but it just really looks like a beautiful pink on the skin and warms up my face. It makes me look fresh and feel more awake and youthful. I just love how pink looks on me. Let me turn on my other light so you can really see the finishes there. These are a little bit more sheeny, it looks like, actually, whereas these look a little bit more airbrushed. I brought 2 powder blushes with me. This one you've seen many times. It's one of my top 5 favorite blushes. It's the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow Radiant Veil Blush in Venetian Rose. Look at that. Wow. It's a baked formula, so it's huge. There's a lot of kickback with this one, so just tap off your brush, but it gives the most stunning look on the skin. This is kind of my special event blush. I wore it last night. We celebrated Christmas early, and it looks like a highlighter and a blush in one, and it warms up on the face. You'll see on my fingers, it really just ends up looking like this warm pinky rose, and it looks like a really natural skin color. But on my cheeks, it ends up warming up a lot. You can see it looks so much more cool toned in the pan, but I always find that mauves that look kind of gray really warm up on the face. And that's why I love this. It's like a combination of like a red, a pink, a bronze, and a mauve once it actually hits my skin. And I think Venetian Rose is just such a perfect name for it. I wore these 2 together last night, and I put this down first. This is the Buxom Wanderlust blush in Seychelles, and it really looks like more, this is a tried and true powder. That's a baked formula, and this is like a powder blush. And this is kind of like a taupey bronze. You can see side by side how different they are. And it really looks like a natural skin color. There's a lot of sheen in this one too, so you don't need a highlighter. And it just, there's something about the taupe in there that makes it look really unique. It kind of sculpts the face. And so I really like to lay down Seychelles all over the cheek and then add this as a pop in the middle, and it just does something nice. So that's what they look like side by side. And with the warmer light, you can see how much shine that they have. Pretty much all of the eyeshadows I brought are glitters, so I'm going to save those to the end so you don't have to stare at my glitter hands the whole time. Yeah, so... Sorry, not sorry. Let's just get these over with first. I brought 2 liners. This is a product that I wouldn't have brought with me if I didn't need to film content. I was reviewing the new Beauty Pie lip liner in Sexy Berry, and I don't really feel like I need this one on this vacation. It's the same Sexy Berry shade as the lipstick and the blush that they have. Beautiful formula, but really the only lip liner I reach for on a daily basis is this liner, which is the most perfect lip liner of all time, the Citizen Cosmetics Lip Stroke in the shade De. It is the perfect nude lip for me. It's so creamy and soft, but it sets down, it like blurs the lip. It goes with every single lip color, and it just makes your lips look way juicier. As much as I love this Sexy Berry color, I just wanted to review it for YouTube, but I pretty much only reach for like lighter nudes on a daily basis. These are the lip glosses I brought. Now, don't get that twisted with liquid lip balms, because that's a whole other category. That's the biggest category of products I brought. This is what I would consider to be the lip gloss category. And you know, the In Beauty lip glaze in Candy Cane might be an exception. It's a little more of a liquid lip balm meets gloss hybrid. But I don't find that this is a product I reach for when my lips like really need some nourishment. I'll go for, you know, the Beauty Pie Wonder Gloss Collagen Lip Oil, the Fit Glow lip serums, the Rowan liquid lip balms, like all of those kinds of products. But this is just a wonderful, comfortable, thick lip gloss that's kind of mixed with a lip oil. And it smells like Thin Mints. I love it. It's got a little bit of pink shimmer in there, which is really beautiful. So this is the only clear-ish lip product that I brought. So that one's perfect. I just love the In Beauty lip glazes, and this scent is phenomenal. When I want something that makes me look expensive, that makes my lips look incredible, that is super high shine, that fills in the lines, I reach for the Lawless Forget the Filler in Velvet. And it comes with that really cute applicator that just hugs your lips. And this fills in every line. It is thick. It's a little sticky, so heads up on that. It kind of smells like strawberry mint to me, which is quite pleasant. And it is just high shine. And because it's sticky, it stays around for a very, very long time. And it's just this beautiful, fresh pink. And I get compliments when I wear this, specifically from my boyfriend. He'll ask me what I'm wearing on my lips and he'll say it looks really good. And so if John points it out, then you know it's good. I always bring along my Persona Gloss in Toffee because it's a scent that I'm addicted to and it's a comfortable formula. But first and foremost, this is a color that I haven't found anywhere else and I love it. John loves this one on me too. Toffee is just this incredible brown, but it has some gray to it and it looks more yellow there, so I'll turn on my other lights in a second. But I put this on when I have like a matte brown eye on and it makes me feel so sexy. So you can see them here a little bit more. In Beauty, Candy Cane, Lawless, Velvet, Persona, Toffee. I don't find this is the most flattering formula. You can see this has a high oil content and it's kind of separating, and anything that's kind of like a lip oil settles into lines, as you can see, which is why I don't consider the In Beauty lip glaze to be an oil, even though it's kind of marketed as that. It's really more of just a balmy gloss, whereas the Persona gloss to me is not, I don't think it's marketed as a lip oil, but it's more of a gloss oil. So I don't love the formula of these, even though they are beautiful and comfortable, but that color, it just makes me feel like a cool girl. It's like this just sheer amazing brown. I freaking love it. Okay, now these are the lip products I brought with me that I would consider opaque lip products, like classic lipstick, liquid lipstick in the way that they look. So for example, this is the new MAC Luster Glass formula. This is the shade Business Casual. It's another kind of brown mixed with a red that makes me feel really cool, really sophisticated. I'll wear this year round. It's that brown mixed with a red that goes with everything, and it's a really comfortable formula. It's shiny. It's not super sheer, but it's just sheer enough the way that I love it. So I turned the lights down one more notch, and I think this is a better representation of the color. Like a rosy brown. Sexy Berry I included because I had to use it in a sponsored video and I just love this color. The formula is not my favorite of the Beauty Pies because I prefer their Super Lipstick Luxe Shine. I find those just like more nourishing and a little more flattering because they're more sheer. But this is a really beautiful, sophisticated color that I would wear more in Berkeley in the wintertime around the cold weather. Okay, I just put a cool toned filter on my lights because I felt like these two lipsticks were just not coming across as accurate. And this is a much better representation. I feel like you can really see the colors better now. Sexy Berry has a little bit more mauve, a little bit more purple in there, whereas Business Casual is a brownie red. Then we have my all-time favorite matte lip formula, the only matte lips I own. One of my favorite lipsticks of all time is the Sunny's Face Lip Dip in Girl Crush. This is another shade I wear on a night out when I just want to feel cool. Girl Crush is this perfect terracotta rose, very, very similar to Business Casual. Business Casual just has a touch more like red in there, whereas Girl Crush is just like a cool ass terracotta. And by cool, I don't mean cool toned. It just makes me feel cool. And then I also brought So Good. And this is another one. I love this as a bold lip. It's just this brick red with a lot of brown. These are like the full cover matte lips I wear when I'm doing a night out and I'm like feeling myself. They smell like sweet tarts. It's a matte lip formula that feels just like a comfortable kind of slippy, fluffy cream, and they're just stunning. These are my liquid lip balms. Let's start with Beauty Pie first. These are the Wanderlust Collagen lip oils. They basically look the same on the lips because they're so sheer. Cheerio. And this is the shade Jammy. Like I said, they look practically the same once they're swatched. It's just sometimes I like to reach for something a little more pinky. Other times I like to reach for something that's more of a natural lip color. Did I need to bring both? Absolutely not. If I could only pick one, I'd probably go with Jammy because it's so sheer. It just looks like a natural lip color. Cheerio's a little bit brighter, but I mean, they're perfect. The formula is so cushiony, nourishing, feels like a liquid lip balm, even though it's called an oil. It really just smooths over the lip lines. It's thinner than the Fit Glow lip serum, so if you like something more lightweight that's still cushiony, definitely give these a try. Rowan liquid lip balms, I cannot live without these. These are some of my most used products. This is the shade Charli, which as you can see is very well loved. Charli is the product I reach for when I just want to amplify my natural lip color. These have a peppermint smell, whereas the Beauty Pie has a beautiful warm vanilla scent. I don't love the mint, but I don't find that it's too strong or offensive. This is the shade Remi, which is my all-time favorite nude lip. Well, it's kind of hard to say that. I guess I have a lot of favorite nude lips, but this is definitely one of them. They're very, very thin, but they still kind of slide over the lips and coat them with a liquid lip balm. These are the thinnest liquid lip balms I own, but since they still have that nourishing balm-like feel, I just absolutely love them. And I think you can see in the swatches here, since Beauty Pie is also a lip oil, you can see the oil is kind of settling into those hairs a little bit. Whereas when you have something that's less of an oil, it provides more of a glass-like finish on your lips. So that's why I tend to reach for more products like this or the Fit Glow lip serums that don't have a bunch of oils, or at least they don't look like they do. I still absolutely love the Beauty Pie ones, of course, but I just find that formulas like this that don't like separate and settle into the skin are a little bit more flattering. I can never be without these. I take them on every single trip. Okay, yeah, so I have a lot of Fit Glow lip serums. What's new? Nothing's new. Beach Glow's my favorite, especially in the summertime or when I'm in warm weather. Beach Glow is just that shade that amps up. Oops, I have leftover lip gloss. Beach Glow is just that warm copper shade that's very, very sheer, but it's very warm. So it ends up just coating your lips with the most beautiful, like sun-kissed shine. Oh, look at that. I'm just turning on the light so you can see more of that texture. It's really special. You don't feel or see the shimmer on the lips. It just makes me feel like a bronzed, glowing goddess. I cannot go on a trip without this one. Another warm one we have is Koi. This one doesn't have any shimmer, but it's still relatively sheer. And it's like a creamy peach with a little bit of pink. So I wanted this one for Florida because I wanted something a little bit warmer. I'll be doing more like bronzy looks with bronzy eyes, and I wanted that peach shade. But you can see it's not just a standard peach, it's also got a little bit of pink to it compared to the copper of Beach Glow. Another warm one, this is the shade Nice, and I love this. It's just like a sheer, creamy coral pink. You can see it's a lot more sheer than Koi. And I love when you have a really bright color that's really sheer because, oh, look at that. Is that not perfect for warm weather? It's just that perfect warm coral pink. Oh, but it's sheer enough that it looks so flattering. Nice is definitely one of my favorites for warm weather. Turning on the light again so you have a different perspective of Beach Glow, Koi, and Nice. Okay, my newest Fit Glow favorite is the shade Ever. I fell in love with this during my epic swatch video, and it looks like a crazy, scary purple, which is why I never reached for it. But when I put it on my lips, it totally transformed. It mixes with the natural beige pink in your lips and just becomes the most perfect wintry flush. I'll reach for this primarily in Berkeley during the cold weather when I want a little bit of a purple lip. That's not a bold purple, it's sheer, but it's just so lovely and flattering. It's hard to describe why this is so beautiful without seeing it on the lips, but just take my word for it. Gospel kind of takes that same theme but tones it down. This is one of my favorite lip colors of all time. It's got more pink in it. It's got a little bit of brown, but also quite a lot of berry. Gospel, oh, it's like the color I wish my lips naturally were. So it just looks like a natural lip flush. And you can see there the colors, Ever being much more purple, Gospel being a beautiful combination of a pink mixed with a bit of a brown and a berry. These are the beigey nude colors. I've got the shade AU from the Beautiful collection, and it is very, very natural. It is almost the exact same shade as my lips, just slightly more pink. So if I have a look where I just want it to go with everything, I'll reach for this. I don't know if you call it AU or AU, but it's pretty close to T. T is just much more beige. But same theory, they're both like pretty light, pretty sheer, and they go with everything. So T is the Fickle Lip Serum that's closest to my natural lip color. I'm just like a light beige with a hint of pink. And then AU has a bit more pink than T, but they're both pretty light, pretty fleshy, probably work best on like fair and light skin tones. When I want something that's a little bit more of a statement nude, I go for Halo because there's quite a bit of gray in this one. And you can see compared to T, much more gray, but still like a fleshy beige. And if I want to build on that, like much more of a statement, I'll go for Full. And Full is just like a sexy, dusty brown. And lastly, if I want to amp it up even more, I go for Root, which has more red and is darker. So AU, T, Halo, Full, and Root. Then with different lighting, AU, T, Halo, Full, Root. And, you know, you guys are makeup lovers, so you understand. I need to have all of these, right? The last lip category is all of my balmy, glossy, nourishing lip products. These are all lip products I can leave on for a long time and never feel like they're dry, with the exception of this one. This actually probably should have gone with the lipstick category, but this is just so sheer, I thought it should go here. But this is essentially a category of its own. This is new to me, and it's the Dior Lip Glow in Mahogany. Look how sheer that is. Super, super sheer, and you really can't build it up. Like, I will run over my lips 100,000 times, and it does not build up the color beyond that. That's all you get. But because of that, I mean, it's super dark. It's this beautiful brown mixed with a mauve. And Mahogany is stunning because it's so sheer and it's just that flush of mauvey brown. But what I will say is I really don't find these lip glow formulas to be nourishing at all. In fact, my lips kind of feel a little bit dry after they wear off. I don't typically have a problem with peppermint scented things on my lips, but I do find that with the Dior lip glows, they feel a little irritating on me, and I think it's because maybe the peppermint scent is a little intense, and I find that then my lips feel a little dry after, and I think it's from the irritation. So not my favorite formula, but I wanted this shade so that I could try to dupe it and then do a post, much like I did for the Dior blush, the Backstage blush and Rosy Glow. I want to do that for the lip glow in Mahogany because everyone's freaking out about this color, and I want to find a dupe with a better formula. Another new to me product, this is the Chantecaille, I think it's called the Hydrating Lip Shine. I can't possibly read that text, oh my God, in Verbena. And another product where I don't like the formula, but I love how it looks on the lips. It is the most stunning rose. Oh, when this goes on my lips, it's so thin, and there's like a high oil content that I do find anything super oily is just not nourishing. It just kind of like sinks into the lips and then doesn't add any actual nourishment. But I don't care because the way this looks on the lips is the most stunning flush of a pinky red. Oh, it looks so pretty when it's on. I just wish it had a more cushiony formula. But I'll change the lights in a minute so you can really see it shine. But Chantecaille knocked it out of the park with the Lip Chic formula. This is basically the same thing as the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss Balms, which are pretty similar to the Glossier Ultra Lips, which is also pretty similar to the Beauty Pie Super Lipstick Luxe Shine. But the Charlotte Tilbury and the Chantecaille are the most nourishing. This is cushiony. It is nourishing. It coats the lips. It forms this coat on the lips that just fills in the lip lines. And so I'm hoping you can see with the textures here, when you take something like the Chantecaille Lip Chic that's thicker and a little more stiff and more cushiony, when you compare it to these kind of more sheer, thin, slippy, oily formulas, you can see more of the texture here. And that translates on the lips, so it's less flattering, but a thicker, more nourishing formula that glides over. Oh my God. This is like the nude lip of my dreams. It's very similar to Rowan Remi, but I think with a touch more gray. And I love that it's just like a lighter, fleshy nude I can apply on the go without a mirror. This product, I don't think I said the name. This is the Chantecaille Lip Chic in Patience. This one makes my lips look expensive. Like when we talk about the Lawless Forget the Filler Gloss in Velvet, this is similar. Like it just fills in the lip lines. It's the perfect shade for me. That makes my lips look bigger. Oh, I cannot get enough of this. And so for that reason, I also picked up the shade Honeysuckle. This has limited edition packaging. This one's just more of a rose. But again, that same amazing, nourishing formula that coats the lips. These also have an incredible vanilla scent, just like, the Beauty Pie lip products or the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss. I guess these are more of like a sugar scent, but Beauty Pie is a similar warm vanilla. And just look at how nice those look on my hand. They look a lot like the Rowan liquid lip balms, but in stick form. And they feel like the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss. I think these might be the most expensive. This was like $48. I think this was like $37. So definitely a luxury product. Before we move on, I am just going to add a different perspective. Dior Mahogany, Chantecaille Verbena, Chantecaille Patience, Chantecaille Honeysuckle. The Glossier Ultra Lips were the first formula like these that I tried before the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss, the Beauty Pie Future Lipstick Luxe Shine, the Chantecaille Lip Chics. The only thing I compared it to were the M Cosmetics lip cushions. And they're similar, but these are more stiff. And now that I've tried all these other formulas, I think the Glossier Ultra Lips is like the least appealing. But that's just because it's stiffer and I don't like the shades as much, and it is fragrance-free. I don't like fragrance-free lip products. Like I really have to have a nice, sweet, or like baked good scents on my lip products. But I still love these. They're like a comfortable, thicker, stiffer, nourishing, shiny lipstick. And I just think there's something so fun and fresh about this color lucite. Kind of cool, kind of unique, kind of trendy. And it's sheer, unlike the rest of the Ultra Lips. This is the one that's really sheer. And so it's unique to my collection. I don't own any other colors like this, so I wanted to bring it along. Then I have my favorite nude lipstick, tied with Chantecaille Patience. Maybe I'll swatch it next to it if I can. The Beauty Pie Future Lipstick Luxe Shine in You Sexy Thing. It's not Master Sweet. You Sexy Thing. It's like a cross for me between Honeysuckle and Patience. It's like not as light, dusty nude as Patience, but not as pink as Honeysuckle. So this color, I mean, look at that. Look at that. I'll swatch it over here too on its own. I just apply it like that, and it's that perfect sheer nude. It's pinky, it's beigey. I just find that nudes that are a touch pink and kind of light make my lips look the juiciest and the biggest. I always notice that the darker the color I wear, the thinner my lips look. And so I really prefer the illusion of a more nude lip. So that is You Sexy Thing. And it is, again, that same comfortable, balmy formula. This to me, though, is a little bit more of a lipstick, less of like a lip treatment like the Happy Kiss or the Lip Cheeks. This to me is more of a lipstick that's sheer and glossy, but balmy and thick and nourishing. It's just not as nourishing as some of the others, but this is one of my favorite Beauty Pie products. I can't live without it, man. Honestly, tied for #1 with Fit Glow as my favorite lip product, I think, is the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss. And the first shade is Crystal Happy Kiss. It's almost entirely clear. So if I swatch it next to Lucite for you, you'll see there's a little bit of pink, but you really would have to build it up to even like get to that point. The packaging sucks on these. Like, I wish they could just have it in a component where I could twist it up, like maybe the M Cosmetics lip cushions or something like that. But it's beautiful on the lips. So thick and nourishing and cushiony. It is so similar to the Lip Cheeks, but the Happy Kiss is a little bit thicker, and so I prefer these. My favorite lip product right now is the Happy Kiss and Pillow Talk. Actually, I think it's quite similar to You Sexy Thing. Yeah, it's just a little bit more mauve-y, a little bit deeper than You Sexy Thing. You Sexy Thing I consider a nude. This one I consider a My Lips But Better color in Pillow Talk. I'll swatch it next to You Sexy Thing again here more sheerly. It's very similar to Rowan Charli as well. And by the way, all of these are colors I would bring with me across all climates and all trips. And then, except for this one, this is the shade Everlasting Kiss. Yeah, it's just warmer. It's more peachy. So this is something I would bring with me to Florida. You can see there's just much more peach to it. God damn, I love these formulas. So here's some different lighting. We have the Happy Kiss and Enchanting Kiss. The Happy Kiss in Pillow Talk. Right next to that was the Beauty Pie You Sexy Thing, Glossier Lucite, Charlotte Tilbury Crystal Happy Kiss. Then over here again, we had Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk with Beauty Pie You Sexy Thing, Dior Mahogany, Chantecaille Verbena, Chantecaille Patience, Chantecaille Honeysuckle. So these are basically the formulas I'm really crushing on right now. Let's start here. This is the Beauty Pie Push Your Luxe eyeshadow palette. I brought this because I featured it in a sponsored video on YouTube. I wouldn't have packed this if I didn't have the sponsored video, just because it's not the kind of color story that I need when I'm traveling. Like, I love this bronze, love these mattes, love some of these on their own, but they're not like the one and done shadows I reach for when I'm traveling. Most of the eyeshadows I brought, you'll see, are very basic, not like interesting colors like this. So I probably would have left this at home for more creative looks. And I guess I have to swatch this since it's a swatch video. Maybe I'll swatch my favorite shades. Definitely this brown, this bronze, this copper is dope. You know, I use that as a liner, but I'm not going to swatch that. Let's do this lilac. They're very, very beautiful colors. And the formula is awesome of the Beauty Pie eyeshadows. They're very, very creamy. The mattes are a little bit more dry and powdery, but the shimmers are insane. Very funny that I gave these a largely negative review, but I really reached for these a lot just purely because of the color and because these give me the one and done eyeshadow look that I want without being just one eyeshadow. Teak, I don't think I needed to bring this. I'm not entirely sure why I brought this, to be honest. I wish I would have left this one at home. This is the one I reach for all the time. This is the palette in Almond. So this is the matte. This is the satin, and this is the metallic. And I hate the packaging. It's so dumb and bulky. I hate that there are only 3 shades instead of 4. There just isn't enough variation in the finish. So really, this could have just been 2 eyeshadows and could have been so much smaller. That being said, this color really is unique to my collection. It is the perfect rosy tan. It's just a perfect shade that I'm obsessed with. So the matte is just a little too sheer. It's hard to blend. The satin's beautiful, really, because the satin is not very shiny. Just skip the matte, go right in with the satin. And then you have the metallic. It's got a little bit of fallout when you apply it, but honestly, those shades, I mean, this is just me in an eyeshadow color. You should definitely check out my Glossier review of this because it was not the most positive. But there you go. You can see that there's just really not a ton of variation, but I love those colors. I'm not sure why I brought teak, honestly. I think this was a mistake. Yeah, it's just like a warm coppery bronze palette. Super pretty, but not entirely necessary as I travel. Nothing super unique. And here's it in different lighting. You can see the tones a little bit better there, but it's just, they're beautiful in this one. But yeah, I don't reach for these shades as much. I think I just, wanted to have some options. I left my 52 degrees palette at home. I've been trying to remind myself to use these more because I'm so obsessed with these Rowan palettes. This is the 1111 palette, and I love that these are just hard pressed creams with a foiled finish and tons of chunky, flaky glitter. It just makes my makeup dreams come true. It is not a long-lasting formula, but when I want something impactful, especially if I'm going to film a video or if I want to just have a cool eyeshadow look when I'm going out, that's what I reach for. They're just so beautiful. I find them to be adult, kind of like finger painting, because they're just so movable. They never set down, but they're so impactful and high shine and foiled. And I just love the shades in 1111, that, dusty greenish gunmetal with that rose. Oh, I love these so much. I never want to be without them. And then here's different lighting of 1111, just to give you a slightly different perspective. 75 degrees is definitely my favorite. I just love the warmth of this palette. It goes with everything. My 2 most worn shades are the bronzes. These really, really bring out my eye color, and I love these on a night out with a nude lip and a bronzy cheek. I mean, come on. Come on. They're just so beautiful. I'll never get over this formula, and I'm so sad that Nikki DeRoast left the company, or I don't know, was forced out or something, because they've gone way downhill since she left. Their formulas, their colors to me are kind of a joke now. But this palette will forever be an all-time favorite. I just love how fun they are to use. Yes, they crease, but you can move them around and they're fine. And you're just left with the most beautiful shine you've ever seen. Oh, I love them. Single eyeshadows and other miscellaneous items. First, just going to pull these out very quickly. I brought the M Cosmetics liquid liner in brown. The color is really much more of just a soft black, which is disappointing, but I really enjoy this formula and I find it easy to work with. Thought it might be nice to have on hand. I am planning on doing a lot of very fun, colorful looks in Miami, so I wanted to bring this NYX pencil liner in this awesome blue shade. It's the color Azure. Azure. Then I also brought these C'est Moi Visionary crayons because I just want to do some fun eyeliner looks. These are so beautiful. They're incredibly blendable, pigmented, but they set down and they don't budge. So I thought these would be fun. They're very Miami colors to me. We have Sky, Daffodil, and Petal, and these are all definitely showing up as true to color. Another interesting one, this is Nudestix Nightdweller. I actually wore this last night when we celebrated Christmas, and I did just a liner all over my eyes and winged it out. and it looked so nice and cool for Christmas. I don't buy from Nudestix anymore, but I am using up my products, and I really, really enjoy using this as a liner, so I can see myself wearing that in Miami. We're going to be spending New Year's Eve in Miami, so I wanted this Violet Voss glitter, which is my favorite liquid glitter formula. The doe foot applicator makes it very easy to use, and it's super high shine. It looks incredible over other eyeshadows. It has multicolored glitter, and it looks incredible on its own. This doesn't have a color on it, but I mean, look at that. The Violet Voss glitter formula is so good. You can get them on Sephora. I think they were only like $14. Totally forgot about this glitter. I don't know if I've actually ever worn this. It's the LA Girl glitter in Hollow Glam. And it's like this pressed gel. Wow. Right? So I was like, maybe I'll do that on New Year's Eve, you know? Maybe over like a darker base. It's like a very gritty, flaky gel formula, but it's crazy. It's got like a sheer tan base with epic blue shift. My friend Ashley sent me these, and I'll link her channel below, but these are the Vesca Moonlit Dream in Lyra. She was decluttering and she thought I might like these, and she was right. Oh, that is a stunning shade. It's a very blendable gel-like liquid eyeshadow formula. And she also sent me the Chantecaille eyeshadow in Cuivre Doré. Cuivre Doré. Oh, JK, that says golden copper. Cool. And golden copper is like that, a golden copper. I think I would prefer this over the Glossier palette in Teak. Not that they're exactly the same, but they're pretty similar. This Chantecaille formula is like, it's so freaking beautiful. Yes, I have other colors like this. It's not like unique to my collection, but as a one and done eyeshadow, it might be. And I think it's very similar to one of the shadows in the Rowan 75 Degrees palette, but this one wouldn't crease. So I've never actually tried these on my eyes, and I'm very excited too. So in different lighting, we have Vesca Lyra, Chantecaille Golden Copper. You know what? So these are my 3 all-time favorite eyeshadows, and L'Oreal Amber Rush looks pretty similar to Lyra. Let me see if that's the case. It's just this high shine finish with a perfect blendable, pigmented, sheer but buildable formula. High shine, beautiful formula from the drugstore. That's this rose gold tan that I am obsessed with. It's just so high shine. And you know what? It's similar to Lyra, but it's better. It's more warm toned. It's peachier, and that's why I like it. So in different lighting, you can see Lyra is a little bit lighter, a little bit more like cool toned. Amber Rush is just, it's stunning. It's perfect. It's the perfect rosy tan. You know, I brought along MAC Woodwinked. As you can see, the writing's gone. This is like 12 years old maybe. I just feel like this is such an underrated shadow, and I always forget to reach for it. It's quite similar to Golden Copper, but it's just got a little bit more something to Woodwinked. It just transforms on the eyes. Golden Copper is a little bit more warm. It's got some scattered glitter in there. Woodwinked is just that metallic, antiqued bronze goodness. You put it on the lid and it looks like one thing. You blend it into the crease, it looks like another. It's the definition of the perfect one and done eyeshadow. I guess I have to swatch this one. This was newer to my collection, but I'm obsessed with it. It's the Double Date eyeshadow duo from Wander Beauty in Smitten Swoon. And this base is a cream, which I love. And compared to Woodwinked, pretty damn similar. Obviously, I have a type. And it's just a little bit lighter. And then you can put the top shade, which is the metallic glitter topper. And it's a little bit of a flakier, glittery bronze. Okay, I understand I probably didn't need all of these, but I just like having different formulas. They all do something like a little bit different, you know? I only brought 2 creams. This is the Wonder Cloud formula from Rimmel in Honey Drop. This is my perfect warm brown shade. It's just like a beautiful camel. This has the same formula as like the Sunny's Face lip dips, just like a whipped matte creamy formula, and I love that kind of like orangey tan shade. Then the other one I brought in terms of mattes is this Urban Decay shadow. I don't even think they make it anymore. It's in Beware. It's my perfect all over the eye and all on the lower lash line shade. When it's built up like that, it looks very neutral, but when I just add a little dusting of it, it's actually kind of more of like a warmer brown. I guess it's just not coming across on camera like that, but it's just perfect as like a smoky eye or just as a dusting all over my eye as a one and done shadow. Adds a little bit of definition and some warmth. It's my perfect matte brown. While we're on the topic of browns, this is the MAC Extra Dimension eyeshadow in Amorous Alloy. This is my perfect like sexy brown smoky eye because it's got a little shimmer in it without being metallic or glittery. And it's a red brown. So it really makes my blue eyes pop. And it's just a blendable formula. You can make it, I can make this easily work appropriate just with like a little bit of a wash on the eyes, but you can build it up to that super like sexy smoky color. And it is just my go-to on a night out when I don't really want to think about my eye look, but I want something that makes me feel like sexy. And I'll wear this with like the Persona Gloss and Toffee, and oof, watch out. The other cream I brought is the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in Oyster Pearl, which is so old it still says Marie Antoinette. And let's see if I can spread it here. It's definitely an antiqued bronze compared to all the other bronzes I brought. This one I think is the least warm. It's just got a little bit more of a green and a silver in it. It's a very complex shade and I love it because it goes with everything. It's really like a neutral bronze in my opinion. I love the Natasha Denona Chroma Crystal Eye Topper in Peach. These dry out so fast. I've barely been able to make a dent and I can like barely get any product out at this point. I just love this as a wash over the eyes. Look at that shine. Actually, let me put it on the other hand so you can see them all together. It looks intense on the finger, but once it's on your eyes, it's just a subtle wash of the most glossy, wet look glitter topper. They just dry out a lot. I think these might be discontinued too, because I saw that they were taken off of the Sephora website, and I think Natasha Denona's too, but let me know. In my non-influencer life, this is my second most used eyeshadow. It's the Hourglass Scattered Lights in Ray. I don't purchase from Hourglass anymore, and I don't talk about their products, but I wanted to show you, this still is my favorite eyeshadow and I still, these nails, Jesus. I was not expecting this to be such an issue. I've never had to do this before. Hourglass in Ray is still one of my favorite eyeshadows because it's just the perfect color. It's a base of a peachy brown tan with silver glitter. So compared to like Natasha Denona Peach with much more of a sheer base, this is just so much more impactful because it's got that warm peachy brown base that's sheer but not invisible. And it's got that contrast of the silver glitter. This is my number one going out eyeshadow look. If I want something that's glittery, it's just got the most beautiful shine. The Scattered Lights are still above and beyond better than the rest of the glitter toppers I've ever tried. And I'm waiting to film my dupes video so that I can find this dupe, but I don't really think that it exists. Nothing comes close to this. And so, I don't ever show this on my YouTube channel or my Instagram, but it really is just my favorite eyeshadow. Well, here's everything in different lighting. We've got the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in Oyster Pearl, Rimmel Wonder Cloud in Honey Drop, Urban Decay Beware, MAC Amorous Alloy, Hourglass Ray here, Natasha Denona Peach. I hope you enjoyed all of these swatches. I know that I feel better after a stressful day, and I hope you do too. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.